Uh, yes, I'm a bit adjusted, so to speak. I One thing is for sure: if you arrive home from the dentist and you have a bag with you, you should be careful because then you know that something has happened. And in my case, I actually brought it. Let me just take my phone because this is a bit complicated for my knowledge. Talk to me about cars, but when it comes to teeth, not as good as I should. But I have a long fracture, meaning that it goes down to the edge of the leg, so to speak. I'm not sure if that is the right English vocabulary, but that is what has happened. So I needed a complicated tooth extraction. So what that is actually is that I have removed a teeth. This is my actual teeth. Oh, so it hurts. And it feels that a vital part of me is missing. And it feels, let me explain to you how it feels. It feels like you have this beautiful sports car and you have removed the engine. So a few of you subscribers has asked me on an update on my GT3. Sorry for having you waiting, but if it is any, what's the word? You're patient, I think, to wait too long. Thank you for your patience. Patience. Thank you for waiting. Please continue to wait. Anyway, thank you for being patient with me because I have actually been in the same situation. So, if you haven't seen the failure of my GT3, then please hit the link below. I will link it here below so you can actually find the episode where my GT3 991.2 fails. And actually, all of us will wait for you. So just pause this and hit the link below and then come back to us. Okay, bang, back. So I arrived from Gelleråsen track day with the GTS Porsche Center Stockholm lent me, and then just directly the day after they called me back saying that we have pulled your vehicle into the workshop and we have started with it. I mean, thumbs up again to Porsche Center. Bang, directly they are working with my issues. So what they did next was to analyze and collect all the data Porsche needed to perform a decision on what to do. So they called me back just a few hours ago saying, Janko, now we have collected all the data that Porsche need to make a decision. Obviously, Porsche in Germany does not work as fast as their cars or Porsche Center Stockholm. So I had to wait for weeks to get an answer, and the decision they actually made was to replace the engine. And they also had a condition to send back the old engine to Flacht for analyze. So then the production of the new engine was planned, and I was, calling back and forth to Porsche Center Stockholm and wondering, okay, do we have a production slot and when it's going to be produced? And as you can imagine, the start of the season, it's a bit bumpy, so to speak. Anyway, last week I got the confirmation that the engine was in production, and yesterday I got confirmation also that it has been sent from Germany. And today it arrived in this morning, and guess what? Porsche Center Stockholm, thumbs up again, bang directly the car into the workshop, and they have started to replace the engine. So I thought, why don't we jump into the car and drive to Porsche Center Stockholm to take a closer look at the work they're doing.
It is a race for time, what I'm doing here.
just gonna go into the workshop and I'm gonna bring you guys with me to see where we are, where we stand, and start to speculate. So this is my new engine. Yes, you heard me right. I have actually received a brand new engine from Porsche.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you, hit you up, I'm on the other side, I miss you, miss you. Take you off, I came in way too strong, cannot keep it low key. Got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof, auto, your taste. Is it really a bad reception out there? Where you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me?
Looking at my first engine, I'm kind of have divided feelings to it. First of all, it is like, it's my son of a bitch that destroyed my season. But on the same time, I get an experience here, what it is all about, changing the engine, because that's actually what we have done here, changing the engine to make sure that it goes down to flucht for analyze. Standing here underneath my own car and looking at the heart of the car, the engine, I'm actually touching the 4-liter flat 6 9,000 revving engine. Ooh, and how everything is so thought through. And if you think of it, it's not a huge massive block. It is, I mean, it's hardly 1 meter. And there are not so many components. I mean, I have been working with old 911s and trying to actually been involved in replacing engine in old 911s, and that is, well, more or less a few bolts and off you go. I get the same feeling with the modern car. It feels thought through. And yes, there are obviously so much more connection points that needs to be in place, but anyway, it feels, yeah, it feels so nice. We have not done any analysis to the cause of the breakdown, because that is something that Porsche has asked to handle themselves. So this old broken engine that has lost oil pressure, what it is, I can only speculate, and I have done that together with Porsche Center Stockholm, but we haven't looked into anything. So remember, this is only speculations, and we think it is something to do with the oil pump or something, because the engine is clean, no oil leaks whatsoever outside. Looking at all the details that are provided at this visit is huge. Looking at the exhaust from my car, I kind of remembers me from back in time when I was kind of doing my own workshop where I was working with 964, 993, and looking at the design, it pretty much looked similar, so to speak, but it has become quite heavy. It's extremely heavy, this exhaust, and I can't understand both Porsche and Akrapovic and other vendors of exhaust system putting titanium exhausts into the car to reduce weights. I wish I had one of these at home. Look how smooth they are and light, and it feels so, I want to use this tool. I just took the opportunity to standing in the engine department. It feels, I mean, the car is brand new. I mean, it's so clean. You can be in a suit underneath this car and operating. And it's amazing to see the engineering behind the car, and especially standing underneath the Porsche, where the engineering are, accordingly to me, at top level. And yeah, it is a lot of feelings. Ooh. Yes, I have arrived home. It was actually very emotional. Yeah, I think you can say that. Being in Porsche Center, looking at my car. It was actually quite difficult for me to actually film the episode, and I needed to retake the clips many times. Replacing the engine is you know, it's is what has actually happened to the car? Well, from a technical point of view, nothing. But it has had a heart transplantation in my way. And especially in a GT3 where, you know, the heart of the experience of the GT3, from my perspective, is from two things. It is the handling and the engine. And looking at the engine outside, I mean, standing around the engine, more or less hugging it, yeah, it kind of got to me. And the engineering behind it. Yeah. And I think a few good things has actually come out from this. One is that I have collected an extended warranty for 1 more year. So it means that I would end up with 3 years of trouble-free owners. Well, trouble-free. I'm not sure if I can say trouble-free, but cost-free then, because having the summer friend at the surgery is not actually the case that you want, isn't it? You know, waiting for your GT3 to arrive at home makes you almost watch the clock all day long. So we thought, me and my son, again to go on some Porsche Club Sweden Slalom Cup. And I think that's great that the community have these gatherings to meet up friends, etc.
Bungalow, she felt so young. The night she was much younger than the other. Feeling like a prisoner there in the light. She stood, she knew they couldn't miss her. And then they took her as her, walked over life lane. You wrote to me, 'cause she wanted me.
I'm gonna have a huge problem when I get my GT3 back. The reason for that is that going to Porsche and Porsche Club Sweden activities kind of creates addiction of making it first class and filling the gap with a lot of stuff.
She kept quiet, they kept beating her. They felt sad for her, but an order is an order. She was a prisoner there in the light. She stood, but she knew they couldn't break her. And by the shore, the bombs were falling with the snow.
I guess you can say that me and Johan had a different plan for this season. Yeah, I mean, we were supposed to have our brand new 911s driving together. But in the meantime, we need to compete in the Panameras. We cannot always having a normal function GT3 at all time. So what do you think, Johan, about the Panamera?
Yeah, it works good. I think it's a bit of a ship, to be honest.
It is like a ferry, to be honest. But when you start to push it a bit, you get that sporty feeling. Couldn't you agree?
Yep, definitely.
So here's the turnaround, and then you feel the size of it. I think it is almost 5 meters or 5 meters long, and that is what you feel when you come in the huge or tight corners, or when you have to twist around it. Oh, like that. Yeah. So how was your Carrera T?
It was great. I think it was a bit more agile in this course, of course, but it's I think there's a lot of.
Oh, let's be clear on one thing, Johan. We should have the GT3 and the T together. Couldn't you agree more?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this is ridiculous. Yeah, the original plan was actually to go on a trip together. What happened with that?
Your car happened.
My car happened. I actually put a cone. Could you put it up?
Yep.
So Johan is just outside fixing the cone.
We have another one up ahead.
2 cones. That's not a winning race, isn't it?
No.
And I had you. What's your weight? 300 kilos.
At least.
A lot of work for this gentleman. Putting up all the cones that this lousy driver has closed down.
So the course is clear, I think.
You think? But I think we should be, I mean, we are a bit frustrated not driving the GT3. Do you want to have the seat belts on?
Yeah, thank you.
But, I mean, a bit impressive, is it? I mean, we're talking about a 5 meter long vehicle with, you know, the family vacation stuff in it, and you can drive quite fast. Let's hope they put that engine in fast.